JUNGKOOK, the youngest member of BTS, known for his golden voice and near-perfect face, has finally appeared in public after months of military service. But instead of just greeting fans or giving news about his activities in the military, he actually said a sentence that immediately shook the whole country. "If you love your homeland, prove it now. Korea is calling you." Suddenly, the public fell silent. The army is crying. Netizens were divided. Politicians rushed to draw up an official response. It was as if JUNGKOOK was no longer just an idol, but an unexpected symbol of a new nationalism. How can someone who has been revered for his dancing on stage now speak like a hero of the revolution? What happened behind the walls of the military headquarters to make this Busan-born man come out with a burning passion to defend the homeland, calling for patriotic appeals that are not only emotional, but also provoke great controversy? Days before the statement went public, speculation had swirled around JUNGKOOK's name. Blurry photos of him allegedly speaking in front of a group of young soldiers spread across Korean forums. No one was really sure if it was him. But now, the mystery is solved by itself to in a 7-minute video released by the unit where he served, and later uploaded millions of times on social media. JUNGKOOK stands tall on a small podium, wearing a striped uniform complete with a far from stage charismatic expression. His face was serious. The sound is heavy. His tone was full of emotional stress. "I know I'm known as a singer, entertainer, idol, or whatever you call it. But here, I'm just a South Korean citizen. And I want you to feel it, too. We don't just live for ourselves. We live for this land." He said in the video that it's not just that sentence that makes millions of pairs of eyes widen, but the look in his eyes, which seemed to hold the weight of thousands of previous generations, became a new symbol that was both frightening and alluring. It was as if he was not speaking from the mouth of an idol, but from the heart of a man who had seen something that ordinary words could not explain. And it is precisely there that lies the beginning of a wave of debate that does not subside. Some nationalist groups welcomed the invitation with a standing ovation. They considered JUNGKOOK to have shown a vivid example of a public figure who not only loved his country with kind words, but also with concrete actions. JUNGKOOK's call was even replayed on several national television broadcasts and was made the main quote by right-wing political circles who want to raise the spirit of patriotism among the younger generation. But on the other hand, criticism is no less harsh. Many consider that an idol should not direct public opinion to a highly political sphere, such as a call for military service. They considered that JUNGKOOK, with more than 70 million followers on social media, was already in too influential a position to make such a statement without causing a major impact. It's not about love of country or not. It is about the social pressure created by a figure with global influence. JUNGKOOK could have indirectly forced young Koreans to do something that should be a personal choice, wrote one journalist in an opinion column that went viral. Even more surprising is the news that the video was not originally for public consumption. An anonymous military informant leaked to the media that the video was just internal military unit documentation, which was later leaked without JUNGKOOK's knowledge. But when asked by his agency, JUNGKOOK refused to take the video down, even supporting its dissemination. He said, "Let the world know how I interpret this." And therein lies a hidden clue that not many people realize. The profound change in JUNGKOOK was not something that happened spontaneously. During this time, it is known to be very disciplined in maintaining its image. He rarely makes controversial statements. But in recent months, he has been secretly taking part in special military training that is not mandatory. He volunteered for a rigorous military leadership program that only a select few took part in. This was only revealed when internal records were leaked to the public through a whistleblower from his unit. He was one of the few who asked for additional training, even though his schedule was already quite busy. He pushed himself to the extreme limits, revealed one of the senior coaches in a partially censored interview. What JUNGKOOK saw, experienced, or realized during his training is still an enigma. But one thing is for sure, he is no longer the same man he was when he entered the military gates last December. JUNGKOOK's appeal not only shook Korean youth, but also sparked a response from other young artists. Some of his juniors in the K-pop world also expressed the spirit of love for the homeland openly. However, not a few also choose to be silent, or even shy away from direct comments for fear of being caught in a hot political polemic. What makes it all the more dramatic is the fact that this is not the first time JUNGKOOK has shown an interest in history and nationalism. In several old interviews that have now returned viral, he had mentioned that his grandfather was a war veteran whom he respected very much. One of the old quotes now being dissected by the army reads, "I grew up with stories about the struggle to defend this country. I can't get over it." And who would have thought? That quote is now the key to opening many new conspiracy theories. Has JUNGKOOK been composing this narrative in silence for a long time? Is he preparing a new image as an opinion leader or even, moreover, a future national figure? When the public had not finished grappling with all these questions, another surprise arose. An open invitation from the Ministry of Defense suddenly spread officially to the media, saying that there would be a patriotic partnership program with selected public figures, and the first name mentioned was JUNGKOOK. That it didn't take long for the media to dig deeper. Allegedly, JUNGKOOK is being designed to be the face of a new national campaign aimed at raising the spirit of defending the country among Gen Z and millennials. The program reportedly involves documentaries, visits to schools, to art projects that combine nationalism and pop culture. And if this news is true, then this could be the first time in the history of K-pop an idol is circulated not just to entertain, but to arouse the national spirit throughout the country. But in this growing spotlight, one voice remains the most powerful, JUNGKOOK's own. In a video released days after his initial statement went viral, he added, "I'm not asking you to copy what I'm doing, but I want you to ask, what does it mean to be Korean for you? If the answer is strong, then do something. If not, search until you find it." The sentence not only closed the controversy, it opens a new door to a much larger discussion of the world of entertainment. Discussions about identity, love of the motherland, the responsibility of the younger generation, and the role of public figures in the midst of a crisis of national identity. As the world grapples with JUNGKOOK's patriotic video going viral, a new leak emerged that left the entire media, from Seoul to New York, from Tokyo to Paris, unblinking for hours. A 13-minute audio recording spread among investigative journalists. The footage, which was said to be part of a closed-door meeting between Korean military officials and HYB representatives, referred to JUNGKOOK's name not as an idol, but as a national strategic project. Yeah, you didn't read it wrong. JUNGKOOK is referred to as part of a national strategic project, a phrase that is usually only used for the development of defense technology or sensitive foreign policy. So the big question arises, is JUNGKOOK being groomed as the new face of South Korea's soft power geared toward embracing the younger generation while tying them to a national identity?